This, my friends, is Penny Chutima. I would say the scion. I'm going to say the scion. That's a big word. The scion of Thai cuisine, owning family of Lotus of Siam. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a phenomenal interview, but don't ask me to get your reservation because this is not the purpose of that. I do want to find out how Lotus and Penny and her family have shifted during COVID, what her protocols are, when they're opening, and we're going to get it straight from the first family in Thai food. So these are the new things that you've installed to operate Lotus of Siam. And is this going to happen with both locations?
Yeah, so both locations are going to have everything the same. Like, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, they're going to have everything the same. We're doing the plexiglass for the hostess stand, the thermal cameras. We ordered 2 food lockers. So those are on the way in 6 weeks. But
so walk me through that. So as people walk in, you have a thermal imaging cam.
So you know, like when we leave like Asia airport, like when you go to Suvarnabhumi, like that. So like as you're walking in from this front door, and then you just walk in, and then you're gonna see this like awesome thermal camera, which is right there next to Midnight Sopa. And then we have this, which is the actual thermal detection.
That's the actual detector, the thermal detector.
And then after that, my hostess will be able to, whoever's behind this area.
Which is plexiglass, by the way, which is totally enclosed.
Yeah. So we did the whole like plexiglass and everything so that you can like see. Yeah.
And if they see above 99, above 100, of what 101, you jump out of there and push them out of the restaurant?
No, not quite. What we do is we end up being like, okay, hey, we'll let you, especially like people are like, oh, well, what about during summertime?
Right.
And we're like, look, so, you've been to Thailand. It's hot. It's humid, and it's like up to 100-something degrees with humidity, So it's like when people see that, they're like, oh my God, what if like we're standing outside? It's like, it's internal temperature. So the thing is, even if like you ring in 100 summer, we have this waiting area too. Not really waiting, but it's like an enclosed spot right here where you just wait for a little bit. And if your temperature goes down within like a couple minutes, we rescan you, you're set.
That's cool. So you have a full-on protocol. If you come up a little high, you hang out in the area because it might be 110 degrees outside, air conditioning cools you down, and then you should be good to go. How far above Nevada's standards do you feel that you're going?
I'm trying to do way more a little bit just because, we just don't know. This thing is so new. Like, this thing is completely new. They're like expecting it to open right away. And I'm like, nah, man. Like, we dealt with SARS in Thailand and I went to school there. We were closed for like a month, and it was like, people were like, didn't know how to pinpoint. And that's when like back then we were already wearing masks. So when we're like now, like over here, the way that I'm going to do it is like when you come in, everyone needs to be in mask. When you go to the restroom, please wear a mask. Like we're going to actually try to enforce it as much as we can. And if people have a problem with it, it's, we have servers who are autoimmune. They need to work, Exactly. And so it's trying to keep them safe. Other guests who have different underlying problems, like we're trying to keep them safe. So it's like, people are like, oh, well, how can I eat without with a mask on? It's like, yeah.
So it's that exact, dude.
Just do this.
Okay, so I'm your guest. I walk into the front door. I get a thermal screening. I'm clear. I get to my table, and that's when I take my mask off, right?
Yes.
And then at that point, if I need to go up and wash my hands, use the restroom, mask on, and then come back to the table.
I'm doing the reservation system update because, especially with COVID, no one wants to go in front of somebody and talk to people.
Exactly.
Like, especially with like nowadays, everybody's on their mobile. Everyone's on their phone. So if like especially with like the new rules that the governor passed through, it was like, okay, hey, there's no waiting area. You can input your name for the waiting list through the phone. When your place is entered, boom, we'll text you when the table's ready. You come in. Hey, that's it. And then because now we have to have some type of protocol. We have to do 50% capacity. So it's like
So
we have to
that
scale
goes to my other
everything
question,
down.
Penny. Well, with Lotus of Siam, which location are you sitting at right now?
Right now I'm in
For our
Sahara.
audience.
We're opening Sahara first.
Yeah, so our audience knows Sahara is going to be opening first, and that's going to be what date, give or take?
We're opening Monday,
Okay, so so
the
Monday.
8th.
Yeah, so Monday, June 8th, Sahara is going to open first. The governor has set you to 50% capacity, and that's going to be all restaurants. So what were you licensed for? Capacity was before, and what will you be serving now?
Originally, we had about 220, so 50% is 110. But for us, we're not going to like go full at 50. We might be like at 40%,
Sure.
but even then we'll push out the to-goes and stuff like that. And then, all of our tables right now are completely spaced out. We made sure like the rooms and stuff like that are set to how we need it to be. They said 6, we do maybe 7, 8.
Yeah, what's the largest table you're going to hold in terms of group size?
5 only. You can only do 5. If people come with 10, we still have to split you. Like you can't be on the same table, and this is by law because no tables more than 5. I mean, I've seen some restaurants open and they're like, oh well, my 2 kids and stuff like that, but we're like, the rule is we can't break it. It's the same thing as like you come to Vegas, you're under 21, you can't have alcohol,
Right.
And
so
if
the largest party possible is 5. If you come bigger than that, you have to get split up, and you better let on the reservation system. How do we get a reservation at Lotus? So starting on Monday, what's the portal to get the reservation for Lotus?
So people can actually go on our website. It's lotusofsiamlv.com, which I'll show you on my iPad, so people can see.
Okay, so
this is our website, right?
Right.
So it'll be Lotus of Siam LV. It's gonna have the one that says book now. We go through Resi, which is actually pretty awesome for us. And they'll tell you right away what we have available for lunch and dinner.
Awesome.
So
that's perfect. So what has been the one thing that you're like, dude, this sucks, or this doesn't make sense to me?
I mean, so far everything's been like a huge impact, but for me, I feel like as the restaurateur, it definitely impacted a lot of like the waiting area and stuff like that. But I really can't complain because this is like the safety of people.
There you go.
Safety of our guests. So it's like for me, it's like I'm just gonna have to do it. I'm gonna duke it out, grin and bear it, and boom. And
that jerk is gonna come in and is gonna be like, I ain't gonna wear a mask, man, because this isn't real. Like, I don't care what side of politics you're on. It's just safer to wear a mask for everybody. So are you prepared for that you can't force me to do anything?
I mean, the front of house has to end up calling me to come talk. So it's like, I already have every dialogue in the book, bro. Like, it's even like just going to the grocery store, people don't want to put it on, and then they have all this excuse and stuff like that. But it's like, look, I lived in Asia for like 2 years. I went to school there. We were forced to wear a mask, PM levels of 2.5. People are dying. Like last year, we had poison air in Thailand,
Right.
And people were bleeding out their lungs. Masks were everywhere. I mean, nobody complained.
Yo, the bottom line is if you want to eat at somebody's restaurant, which is private property and their private business, just follow their rules. And do what you want to do at home. But if you're going to someone's house, just respect the house. Do you think restaurants can survive at 50% capacity?
To be honest, like speaking for 2020 wise, I honestly don't. I told most of my employees, I even told my mom, like 2020 is not going to be the year that you make a profit. Like there's no way. Like we'll take an L, like a negative a little bit, or maybe just break even, but breaking even, I'd rather break even than not, like it say for example, the restaurant that they were capacity at 1,000 or 2,000 square feet, right? And they seat only, before they sat like 12 tables,
right?
And now you have to do 60%, 50%. But what if that 50% isn't within the 6-foot rule? So then it might scale down to 6, and then that 6. What if the 6 tables that are together, right? And they're not 6 feet apart by table to table, end to end.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to take out one more.
Yeah, you're not dealing with occupancy. You're also dealing with square footage, and you have to have that.
Exactly.
So talk me through the sequence of service as a server. I go to the table. Am I gloved or masked, or not? Neither.
You don't have a glove, you have mask, and
Okay.
you have a face shield, the
Oh
clear face
wow.
shield.
Okay, so the
So
servers
it's,
are wearing face shields.
yeah.
Okay, for their
So
health
they
as
have the
well,
face shield.
for their
Yeah.
safety as well.
So
Okay.
and so they do that
Take
when
the
they
order.
take the order, they repeat, everything. After they're done with this table, they go wash their hands.
Yep.
Every server, I have them with a hand sanitizer, which I pre-ordered before the COVID happened.
Right.
So they have it all in their apron, everything.
Okay.
And then on top of it, with like refill waters and stuff like that, we have closed containers that we always use to refill the water. We don't use the open jugs.
Yep.
And if guests don't feel comfortable, they can just like, okay, hey, can I just get a new refill glass instead? And we're like, okay, that's fine because COVID, we don't set the table until the guest is seated.
Okay, so another SOP change. Right.
Yeah.
No presetting.
Because it's like, okay, what if somebody walks by and they just like,
Exactly.
and you're like,
right. China, back to not you're not switching to paper or anything like that, right? We're still on China and napkins. How are the China situation?
So napkin will just be paper over here. Placemats is paper. We just use regular like the China plates and stuff like that. It's normal. And silverware, we have the silverware. That one, because we're using EPA approved for virus kills and stuff like that, detergent. So we actually have our own like machine. So it runs through 3-compartment sink and everything.
Okay.
So.
And then to drop food runners, gloves or no gloves?
No gloves.
Okay.
They just because every table that they touch in the SOP, every table that any front of house touches needs to wash their hands.
Yep.
Needs to hand sanitize.
And I'm gonna Yeah. No, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say. I think we're gonna say a lot.
Yeah, because people with gloves, it's like so far that I've seen at grocery stores, they touch their face, they touch their phone, they touch everything, and you're just like I literally will look like, are you?
I'm going to say it straight up. I'm not going to lie. Dude. 90, maybe 80 to 90% of people who use gloves don't use them correctly. You know what I'm saying? And I worked in kitchens for 20 years where like I have cooks put on a pair of gloves and they think they're clean. And they're still clean until they do that first pickup on food. And then they like do one of these.
Yep.
Like they do, or they're just like doing like this.
Yeah.
Like just chilling. And then they're like gone to the next. I'm like, dude. So gloves is a weird false sense of security. So I'm going to tell you all straight up that if I can guarantee people wash hands, I will take food from a person who's washed their hands versus I don't know where that glove's been. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
that's why I'm like, anytime I see people touch gloves, I'm like, I'm like, that's a new glove.
Exactly.
Like even right now for our guests, say for example, our hostess that receives our guests coming in, if a guest doesn't feel comfortable about touching a menu, we actually created the QR code.
Oh, crazy. So
you can scan it on your phone.
Code. Okay.
Actually, does it work from there?
Oh, wait, but I need a QR reader.
No, you have your camera. You have an iPhone, right?
Okay, so tell me how this works. I'll do it. Right now.
Open your camera.
Okay. So I've turned on my camera app, and it brings me a link, a website QR code. I click on it, and I'm right in Lotus to Siam. That is cool, dude. All right.
Yep.
I think you're gonna have to lead seminars on how to open in COVID. So I don't need to touch anything. I order my food right here, and I still haven't touched anything at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you just tell your server and be like, "Oh, can I have this? Can I have this and this?" And then they'll be like, "Okay."
I want
no contact.
I want fresh chili fried rice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I want. You know what I mean? That's wild. And I definitely want cow soy.
Yep.
Mom will cook. Dude, this is amazing. I've gone through my meal, had a great time. I'm within an hour and 45 minutes or hour and a half. So you know what I mean? So Penny doesn't come down on me. How do I pay?
So when you pay, right now we're gonna try to limit cash as much as possible
Right.
because we don't want to like tender and stuff like that, touching. But what we do is because of the new POS program I'm using through Chut's Bistro, we go with Chase Payment Tech, and they have a card reader. So what you do is you just chip it, you take the card, you dip, and then after that you let them sign on the pad, or you just, if they want a piece of paper to print, we can print. And then I think on my reader is contactless too. So if
Wow.
you just want to use your Apple Pay to pay it, you can just pay it with Apple Pay.
Is your reservation system open yet?
Yeah.
Are there people? What's your queue right now? Do you know how long? Oh,
So far I think we're like 80% booked for what's available
how
on
far out? How
Monday.
far out are you right now? Oh, for just Monday. You
From
haven't opened
yeah,
Tuesday and
people.
beyond yet?
Yeah, we open them. I think it's up to July 7th right now. A lot of guests were like, "Can we book for August?" I'm like, "I think it might be open, but I'm not sure because by August my
Wow.
Flamingo location will be open. So we'll both have like two spots that you can pick from, and
You're 1 month out already almost.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, there it is. Lotus to Siam. Um, Penny, I can't thank you enough for joining me today. You know,
Thanks, bro. It's like it's good talking to you. It's like it's been a while to like see what what other people are trying to do also. And for us, it's like for me, I've just been so like I don't want to say tunnel vision, but I've just been so like blocked into like finding new things, and
yeah.
it's
But
hard,
the difference
everything
between
changes.
you, the difference between you and other people is like you want to do the best way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to go way above, and uh, no one else is doing thermal,
Yeah.
visual scanners. No one is. I mean, the QR code situation is great, um, but I wish you and your family continued success. I still
Thank
won't ever
you.
be bugging you for rezos. Don't hit me for rezos, please. It's not gonna happen. I'm just fortunate enough to be friends with this amazing family that's really created probably the most popular Thai restaurant in the world. And thanks so much for everything, Penny.
Of
So,
course, bro. Thank you so much, Jed. It's lovely always talking to you. Hope
so
to see you after all this craziness goes away.
for sure, I'll be there, and hopefully, I'll put my reservation in now for maybe August or something.
I
I'm
got you. Just
kidding.
just text me.
There it is, guys. That was Penny Chutima from the Lotus Siam family, and she's filling us in on what's happening with the openings and with COVID and all the protocols that they're putting in. Thanks again, Penny.
Thanks, Jet. I'll see you soon.
Later. All right, bye.
Bye.